Welcome back, everyone. You're watching the Canfield Farmer, and today got a little surprise for you. So, as you can see here behind me, I've got my 1950 John Deere A. It's been in the family for around 64 years now. As you might remember, last year I did a video on it. I got it running, but then about 2 weeks after I got it running, I started noticing this rear axle was leaking a whole bunch, and that was a sign that bearings and seals had gone out in this rear axle. So I had to park the thing all last year, until I'd say about this March. I started getting parts together. We started ordering parts, and then I'd say about April 1st, Easter, I started tearing apart that rear axle differential system. And I think it was like the 24th, 23rd, somewhere in that area, I finished. I got the tractor out of the building. And a few other things I'm going to show you on it, or a few other things I added. I'll show you those in a bit. But yeah, I am really happy to have this tractor back. And let me show you what all I did. Stuff in this axle had to be replaced. Like, there was a felt seal, like a felt washer right here, a plate that went in there, a bearing right here, and then all the way in here there was an oil seal and another bearing. It was a lot of work to get all this work done and all this stuff out. And on this side you can see I had to get a brand new felt retainer because the old one had a big old crack in it. I'll show you that in a bit. I still have it. Then we had to, I had to make sure everything was working okay. Still got to get this lever fixed. So it broke. But another thing I did was I added new plates to the clutch in here, brand new faces and everything. I changed every fluid in here, and when I changed the coolant, I actually added a brand new water pump right there. Really nice. Carburetor, I did just today. Had a bunch of trial and error with this thing. To start the old fuel line, I decided to make one right here with this inline fuel filter. Reason is because the old one had a bubble in it and like a little crack in it, and it was like leaking gas very slowly. Not a huge problem, but I just don't want it leaking. Turns out the other half, the reason why this carburetor is two different colors is because, well, it turns out the other half I had on it had a crack right there, and it had a crack right over here. So I had this spare bowl, and I used that to fix the carburetor. And another thing I did, I added a choke cable. Really handy. And besides that, not too much. This next year my goal is to open the engine up and just check out all the rings and everything, just to make sure we're doing okay. Remember last year I put an alternator on it and redid the ignition system, and that thing was running just great. But then that came along. So I'm gonna start it up and I'm gonna drive it. Let's try her out again. Make sure I left the gas on. Gas is on. I turn on the ignition switch, pull out the choke, put the throttle forward, make sure it's in neutral, start it up. What'd you think? Kind of like last year, just a remake of the video practically. But I'm not done with this tractor. Pretty soon here, I'm going to be talking to a guy soon about prices on some brand new tires. I'm going to get some new rear tires for it. The front tires are good because those were replaced. You know, it's not like they weren't replaced. We didn't just replace them. They were replaced several years ago, but they haven't had much use on them, so they're still pretty good. Besides that, we're still going to get a new belt for this, just to be safe. Besides that, just a few little things here and there. Yeah, pretty good. Oh, there will be some more videos coming out soon about planting and all the other things. There might be some new projects I'm going to do this year. Just wait to see. There might be some good ones. And thank you for watching the video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and check out some of my older videos. See ya.